From rewriting her own lines in the script to openly criticizing the director of Wednesday, Jenna Ortega probably didn't expect this much backlash. But what else did she expect? I mean, she admitted herself that she was unprofessional on the set. Apparently, the actor kept changing her lines without consulting anyone. Ortega explained that the original Wednesday story didn't make any sense for the character. She revealed that the Addams family's daughter was supposed to be in a love triangle initially. And there was also a line about a dress she had to wear to the school dance where Wednesday had to say that she loves it. But Jenna didn't think that was how her character was supposed to be. So she just kept changing lines by herself. Only problem is, the writers and the script supervisor had no clue. They had to sit down with her several times just to figure out what was happening. 'Cause the scenes weren't supposed to play out the way Jenna was acting them out. They went completely against the script. But why would she do this? Well, according to Jenna, it was because she had grown too protective of Wednesday. But to be fair to her, she thought that the character should have an emotional arc. She's a teenager after all. And she can't keep getting away with saying morbid, offensive stuff just because it's not really funny anymore. Jenna is also overly critical of her role in the hit Netflix series. She isn't very proud of her performance because she just wasn't very satisfied with it. But I really can't say what she's talking about there. I mean, the show was a massive hit. It broke a lot of records for Netflix, and the fans absolutely loved it. It quickly became the second largest show of all time, only behind Stranger Things. Sure, it was targeted at a younger audience, but everyone came to enjoy it. And Jenna's performance as Wednesday Addams was just brilliant. Why else would Netflix renew it for a second season almost immediately? So, if you ask me, she's being too hard on herself. Which isn't great because she already has a ton of haters, one of whom just recently came forward. Stephen DeKnight. He's a Hollywood writer and producer, and has worked on hit TV series such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Daredevil, and Spartacus. Well, according to him, Ortega's comments during that interview were extremely unprofessional, because it was inappropriate of her to talk about script discussions. By doing that, she's practically demeaning the writers and producers of Wednesday. He gave his own example by saying that he loves discussing lines and stories with the actors. But more often than not, they don't have the complete picture of where the plot is headed, and why some dialogues are important to make sense of it all. The 58-year-old filmmaker added that Jenna is too young and probably didn't understand what she was doing, but she should. She should try putting herself in the shoes of the showrunners and imagine what she'd feel like if they spoke in an interview about how difficult she was to work with because she didn't perform using the material she was given. DeKnight took it a step too far and said what he talked about on the podcast was beyond entitled and toxic. He likes her work, but doesn't want to deal with actors like her. But maybe the Daredevil writer realized he took it a little too far because he apologized for what he said. Well, kind of. See, a couple of days later, DeKnight tweeted that he thinks that Jenna is an amazing talent, but she shouldn't be exposing creative differences publicly like that. He also admitted that he is a little on the edge along with several other writers due to the impending strike. Jenna hasn't responded to any of it at all. partly because she has apparently deleted her Twitter account. I can't tell you why for sure though, but people have been speculating that it's largely because of what she said on the podcast. Because DeKnight might have been the biggest voice to tell her off for doing her writers dirty like that, but he wasn't the only one. Fans were almost immediately onto her. And you know how rowdy things can get on social media. There was also the topic of her co-star, Percy Hines-White. She talked about her close friendship with him. But the thing is that he was accused of sexual assault on a minor earlier this year. So it's kind of smart for her to take a break from social media. People can say the meanest stuff online and not think about its effects. Jenna said what she did in that interview, but I honestly don't believe she had any ill intent toward anyone. She was probably trying to just share some behind-the-scenes stuff she thought people would find interesting. And remember, guys, she's only 20 right now. So you can expect her to make some silly mistakes like these. Yeah, she shouldn't have thrown the showrunners under the bus, and I think she should come out and apologize for it, just to set the record straight. Because things might look dicey for her in the future. I mean, even the most accomplished actors don't pull stunts like this in the media, and she's practically just starting out. The pressure's probably getting to her, because she had one hectic schedule to deal with. You see, guys, Jenna was showing up 2 hours early to the set. That already made it like 12 to 14-hour workday for her. Then she had to get back home and go through whatever lessons she had, or she had her cello teacher already waiting for her at her apartment. This made her cry hysterically multiple times, because it's too much to deal with for anyone. And if things weren't bad enough, sometimes they had to shoot for the 6th day of a week as well. The changes she made on the script and what she thought Wednesday's character arc should be were very well received. I mean, why else would they make her an executive producer for the show? And this was despite the fact that she got into a disagreement with Tim Burton. Yep, the man behind the whole thing. Jenna previously revealed that he didn't want her to have any expression or emotion for the character, and she fought against that. Because it may be funny in the beginning, but when Wednesday is in almost every scene, then it would get really boring really fast for the audience. It took time for the showrunners to trust her instincts, and she admits that she felt really defeated after the first month. She was also completely lost and confused with multiple directors working on the show. Too many cooks in the kitchen, according to Ortega. And they all wanted to do things in a certain way. But things worked out really well for her in the end. Just look at the number of projects lined up for her. Scream 6 just recently came out, and it seems to be doing decently at the box office. And Jenna is one of the main characters in it. If her success holds true, then she might even end up becoming the new face of the franchise. Wednesday has already been renewed for a second season. Apart from that, she's also working on a secret project with Weeknd and Barry Keoghan. And she is also set to star in Beetlejuice 2 with Tim Burton. Jenna is also a part of Finest Kind, Miller's Girl, and Winter, Spring, Summer, or Fall. And recently, she also made an appearance on Saturday Night Live. I mean, it's crazy the number of projects she's starring in right now. She has become one of the most sought-out young actresses right now. So she definitely needs to watch her back and try not to be in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. Those are all the problems Jenna faced on the set of Wednesday.